Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Flags in a Gym, a podcast dedicated to all things color guard. My name is Eric. I'm your host and resident color guard nerd, and we have just 2 episodes left in our Dayton recap series. And today's episode is the first of those 2 where we cover Scholastic World. We talk about all the finalists, plus some housekeeping tidbits and corrections from previous episodes. So sit back, relax, and let's talk some color guard. Good. I was editing the Scholastic Open one. I've been going through all of the comments and messages that I've received on like Instagram and stuff for, all the questions like, hey, how does this work? Or
any hate mail?
No hate mail. No hate mail. Because we don't say anything hateful. So
No, I know, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean, every now and again people are like, you guys are just I haven't gotten anything like nasty. I mean, I got that one hate message. Remember I sent it to you a while ago from that like made up.
That one bitch.
Yeah. Whatever. But I think some people think we're a little too saccharine at times. And I just want to be like, you say you want us to be shady and reading and then
I mean, you want me to be shady? I'll be. Oh, we can be shady,
but you're not gonna like it.
You're gonna be real mad.
Everybody thinks it's cute until they start talking about you.
Boom, that part.
So, you good to talk some Scholastic World color guards?
I'm ready. And this is sparkling water with some lemon, by the way. Just want you to know. I'm not.
We listen and we don't judge.
No, we judge a little bit, but it's fine. Oh, there's some.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot you've already pushed.
Yeah, we're recording. We record right when we start.
There's so much. Keep me blowing my nose in there.
Because every now and again we get something funny that I like to keep in just because I think it's...
What was that one the other day? And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you kept that. And it was, I forget what it was. I don't know.
What did I keep in there?
I was listening and I was like, oh, you kept it.
Oh, when I said, well, you got sick of Dayton or whatever.
Oh, the herpesepalupus.
Yeah. Okay. So Scholastic World time. Are you ready, Mr. Will?
Ready? Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Opulence. I own everything.
So many people have been messaging since I posted the story of like, this is what we were talking about.
Yes.
And I got a lot of people were like, we were doing the same thing in Dayton. I'm so happy you brought this up.
Oh. I love that. Good. Yay.
I hope the opulence guard makes that like their guard cheer where they're just like, opulence,
we own everything,
we catch everything.
There we go. Yes, we catch everything. Oh, that's cute. I love that. Yay.
Also, so this is going to tie right into that. So we have some housekeeping to take care of just with like questions and kind of behind the scenes information that we've received from the previous episodes. Opulence, I really have to go slowly when I say that, is a first year program.
Wow, there were a lot of first year groups.
Yes.
Or like first year or first time making finals groups or like, gosh.
Yeah, so Opulence was a first year group. Also was a first year group was Impulse Winter Guard. That was bronze medal in Independent A. And they, basically the staff from Elon Winter Guard that did JJ the Baker Show, one of your little favorites that you loved.
I loved that one last year.
They coupled up with Impulse Drum Corps and have now the Winter Guard. So they are combined or affiliated.
So there is a connection to that drum corps.
Yes, okay. There is a connection there. The RGV props were made from compacted styrofoam blocks, and then they cut holes to fit a piece of PVC pipe in to use as the handle.
I'll write that down. Compacted styrofoam blocks.
And I'm wondering if Tampa Independent used the same thing because theirs seemed just as light and just as strong.
Cool. All right.
Ronald Reagan High School, it was their second time ever at Dayton. Their first was in 2024. They made semis, and this year was their first year ever making finals.
Awesome. All right.
Dripping Springs High School did do the outdoor show about finding joy. They called it Walala, taking joy seriously.
Yes, that's right.
So I looked that one up. Let's see. We talked about a Louisiana school. I mentioned them making finals recently, and I couldn't think of the name. I looked it up. It was E.D. White in 2023.
That's right. And then they were at championships this year too.
Were they?
think so. Either, or maybe I'm thinking their percussion might be a percussion
Their
this week. I
percussion's
can't
there now.
remember.
Yeah, I saw them on the scores.
Okay, maybe I had something.
And then back in our day, Denham Springs High School was from Louisiana that made finals a couple times. You may remember that.
Yes, yeah, they were great. Yeah, cool. Okay,
And then speaking of Louisiana, you mentioned Central Lafourche when we were
yeah.
talking about schools. Their drumline just made finals in Scholastic Open.
Well, awesome.
I was looking at the scores. I was like, he just mentioned this name. It just jumped
Wait,
right out of the page.
that's that name. Yeah. Well, cool. Congrats to them. Awesome.
uh,
Well, Louisiana getting some. That's great. All right. There's a lot more going on down there than I realized.
yeah.
Cool.
We were talking about in the Independent Open episode about the highest Independent Open scores of all time because First Flight has the third highest.
Mhm.
And you had mentioned the Patriots being the highest. That is correct. I looked it up. It was 1998 with a 99.05.
Huh?
And then George Mason in 2019 got a 99 flat.
That's okay. Yes, because yeah, super, super close.
And then
Yeah.
now First Flight has a 98.9, I believe was their score.
Mhm.
So they're just a 10th behind there. So boom, boom, boom.
Fun fact, that Patriots show was one of my favorites. It is so weird and so freaking cool.
Yeah, they were a little weird at that time. I mean, even
They
the
were
next
always
year,
so much Philip Glass. Like they were always just loving that Philip Glass kind of music, or either his music or very similar types, and just very surreal almost, or real heady kind of.
kind
But always loved them.
of
They're
like Chino Hills now, where it's just kind of like kind of out there, kind
a
of.
little like yeah, a little just beyond of what you might have thought of, and then
Because remember when Chino Hills did the Dali show with like the melting clocks,
of that. That
and
was
then
so
they did last year that what was that was that supposed to be like Animal Farm or something?
Guernica, the Picasso painting that was like, and it flipped around with the sunflowers and
I
I
don't
think,
remember. I remember they had the big ramps and they had like
yeah,
horses neighing in the soundtrack,
yeah,
and yeah.
it was, the one painting, and they flipped around and they had something. Yeah, that was so cool.
So yeah, definitely thinking out of the box.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I have, so this is going to be a little lengthy, so you can sit back and relax. I got to read a post. So I got a message from Brian Dandon from he's the director of Maharlika.
Okay.
We were questioning where are they from because we were saying Delano. So it's
Oh, yeah.
pronounced Delano is how they say it's called. But
Delaney. Okay.
he sent me this whole post like thanking us for talking about the program, and he just gave me a ton of information that I thought was really interesting. Their name Maharlika is a Filipino word that means like noble.
Hmm.
He's like, we always do a announced pre-show because people can never pronounce it correctly. So we're trying to train people how to pronounce it. So he's like, that's why we have a recorded pre-show.
Very smart. Very smart.
Our costumes are lycra spandex material, and the print made it look like velvet. We used over 20 reams of paper for our show this season, and we cut it all in half. However, we recycle our papers. The new ones don't open properly when thrown compared to the used ones. So they actually like reusing the paper because they get more flight out of it.
Yeah. Okay.
We have 4 containers on each corner of the floor, and each container contains at least 2 to 3 reams of paper. On top of that, we bring 2 extra boxes that we use throughout the show.
Wow.
The judges called us out several times with our color story with the papers since most are mixed during the season. We didn't want to spend too much time sorting out the colors. However, we used the intended color story in finals. Our cast wrote things on the papers that they want to let go of early in the competitive season, and most made it to Ohio with us.
Aw, that's beautiful.
And that's going to be a running theme because there's a couple other
Oh,
color guards that did something very similar to this.
yeah.
And then 16 of our 26 cast members, this was their first time at Dayton.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
So shout out to Brian
Yeah, thanks,
Dandin.
Brian. That's awesome.
I love getting all this information. So
So fun to, yeah, get the little behind the scenes stuff, and yeah, that's really cool.
2 to 3 reams of paper a show. So almost 1,500 sheets of paper. And he said they cut it in
And they cut
half
it in half, so it's double, so like 3,000.
pieces of paper.
So no wonder there's a lot of paper. And that picture, you found that picture of the big explosion of the paper,
Yes,
and they're under it, and that moment, I was like, oh, I hope there's a picture of that, and there was one, and yeah, oh, it's such a cool picture.
there is. So that was taken by Matt. I don't have his last name, but he is a color guard performer. He marched with Icon for the past 3 years. and
Okay.
he's got other slew of history, but he's really gotten into photography. So he took a lot of the official photographs for WGI Dayton. So a lot of those pictures you're seeing, he took. So shout out to him. He listens to the podcast as well. So
Awesome. Yeah.
very, very
Yeah.
cool.
Yay.
But that's it for housekeeping, I believe.
Love it.
For now, I might have more of the next one as we get more information throughout the time. So we're going to move on to Scholastic World, talk about these 15 amazing color guards. Do you have any general thoughts for the class as a whole?
Not necessarily. I really enjoyed every show. I mean, there was again, there's so much variety. I mean, you kind of say that all the time, I guess, but really, sometimes it feels like some of the you're seeing the same types of show over, back to back or something. No, this was like so all over the place.
Yeah, we
Which,
definitely went through that era in the sport where everybody was looking the same, and it's just
yeah,
like,
and I feel like we've kind of come out on the other side of that, and this is just a really fun mix of serious and fun and campy and dramatic and I mean all the things. It's just so yeah, I loved it, and the quality of every group was really fantastic, and it's just really exciting. Yeah, just
yeah,
great class.
agreed, agreed, agreed. We had 26 units competing in the competition. So because of that, this is the first year in a while that we've had groups not make semis. So we had 6 groups that did not make semis. They were Milford High School, Fishers, Sun Lake, West Broward, Centerville, and Kiski area. They all missed semifinals, which means they are eligible to move down if they choose. And then we had 5 guards that missed finals. We had Bellbrook with the Blackbird show with the feathers everywhere.
Love that. Yep.
Shenandoah with the I See Dead People.
Yes.
We had American Fork with like the I don't remember. It was like a painting or sun. They call it sunset
It
at something.
it was like a yeah, kind of an abstract, very modern. It was I loved it. I was like I'd hang that on my wall. It
One
was
cool thing about their show, like just kind of, even though we're covering finalists, but they had like they had color blocks on the floor,
yeah.
and one was, I think the circle was orange and the front square was yellow or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
or it might be reversed. But they pulled out a flag to match each of the colors, and it was like an optical illusion when that flag went from the orange to the yellow. It felt like it matched the floor perfectly, even though the silk didn't change.
It was really cool. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was really cool to see that happen. Good show. I enjoyed that too, by the way. It was
Yeah.
a good run.
And talking to Michelle, very young group. So lots of youngins on that one. So keep an eye on them. Then also we had Palm Desert that did not make it. One of your faves.
I know they were great, but hey, I mean, they're, gosh, I thrilled for them though. They had a great season. Awesome.
And then our lovely first alternate was Noblesville High School. They
Yes.
missed it by 9/10 of a point. It was actually quite a big spread. I think that was the largest in the entire competition.
Okay.
And just some side news with them. So their director is retiring. He made the announcement that Jeff is,
Oh, Jeff Welsh. Yeah. Okay.
yep, he is calling it. From my understanding, he's retiring. I don't think he's leaving Noblesville. I think he's actually retiring from
Yeah.
teaching. So might be a position opening there. We also have another color guard in this lineup that has a director position open that you can apply for. It. We'll talk about when we get there. So we'll keep that very cryptic right now. I
Oh, my brain. Oh, yeah. I know. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
was like, you should know who it
Oh, yeah.
is.
I've seen that one. Yep.
So let's get into the finalists. Here we go. We're going to start with 15th place. And if you have not listened to the other recaps, what we do is we give you their finalist position, their spot coming in out of semifinals, and then their ranking coming into the championship weekend. So we had Chino Hills in 15th place. After semis, they were 14th. They were 11th coming into the weekend. And their show, Crayon Theory, and I believe they changed the title because I'm pretty sure at one of the regionals they were called Chroma Fracta or something like that.
Yes.
And I wonder if the judges were just like,
In their initial show announcement, it was very big, complicated name. So
yeah, I wonder if they were just like, we're just going to simplify this.
yeah.
Crayon Theory. And this was the Crayon Show, and this was our fan favorite.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Chino Hill's one fan favorite.
It was, I mean, yeah, it was great. I'm glad you said the revised title, because all season long I was thinking of it as like a crayon box. But then watching finals, I was like, I wonder though, is it paint instead? But then I was like, no, I think those big tub stand prop things that they dump over and the fabric spills out. I'm like, maybe that's like supposed to be like hot molten crayon wax. And they're rolling around in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, but just I mean, the first regional I saw them, I was like, oh, this is just spectacular.
I remember you texting saying they're using Colors of the Wind.
And Colors of the Wind was the flag feature, and it was so good. Oh, so fun. And I don't know. And I loved how whoever did their soundtrack, great job because we got this kind of really fun, quirky, modern classical kind of vibe going on with it all, and then it just starts to weave in, and then here comes Colors of the Wind, and it's like that just seems like so perfect, and then it dissolves away back into this other, the tempo kind of picks back up or whatever, but it's so good, so good. Tons of personality from them. I think, you can tell a guard is enjoying their show versus the ones that turn it on, kind of, like, the ones that turn it on and like they're performing it, but like these kids, it felt like they really were just having a great time. Solid flag stuff, weapons, the movement. I mean, so creative and
Yeah, I agree. And this is my favorite for them in the past few years, because like we were talking briefly earlier, they're just kind of abstract, kind of different. And this was a fun take on, we've all seen the rainbow, the coloring or whatever shows, but I love that they start in the crayon box. And you said Chino Hills 26, like the number of crayons in the box. And
yeah.
the thing I loved about the color of the wind section is that the flags match the uniforms like perfectly. Like
Mhm.
clearly the same company
Beautiful.
printed the material or whatever, because I mean, identical. I think the paint cans spilling over are still kind of paint, which just works for me. I mean, you change the title to Crayon Theory, it's like, okay, what is it? But still works for me. And I love just the white canvas they had, but it had all those black lines on it, almost kind of like a
It was all like textury, like looking almost like brush strokes or
yeah.
uh, that just kind of motif. Yeah, it was really, really neat. Subtle, but really cool once you notice it's like, ooh, this is giving just some cool dimension to it when you kind of get a higher view, high cam view.
Tons of fun. I can see why it won and favorite. It's fun, but it also stands out. Like,
Hmm.
oh, they're crayons, and they reassemble the crayon box at the end. Love it, love it. So congrats to Chino Hills. Tough year for making Scholastic World Final. So let's move on to 14th place. We had Warren Central High School with their show Everything Old is New Again. They were 13th coming out of semis, and they were ninth coming into the championship weekend. And I think this was a little bit of a surprise to be done at 14th.
I was surprised that they moved down in finals in particular. I thought, yeah, I mean, the run I thought was great. Speaking of solid, I mean, they had a lot of really strong moments. The rifle moment happened, which was great.
Well,
The
which one? They have a few.
well, the big move, the big double time block that
Yeah.
we get moving across the tarp. That was really exciting. Yeah, I don't know why it was. I mean, in the scheme of the whole class, I don't know, whatever. Different day, different placements. I mean, it could have probably changed if they did it again on Sunday or something, but uh,
Yeah.
who knows?
I love that aqua color they use, that aqua lame and the aqua
The
on the rings.
the hoops and yeah, that, oh God, that blue flag. My gosh, that was such a great color. Super vibrant. I love all the variations of first circle, how they really did a great job of blending all those together and making it feel really cohesive, didn't feel choppy, which was great.
And such a great choice for a song for the whole concept of everything old is new again. Because the opening voiceover, it's like, do you ever have that thing that you go back to that kind of rekindles new memories and gives you you get a new feeling about it? And it's because the song has been used so much in this activity, it
Mhm.
really hits with that as well. So it's just like, oh yeah, we've heard this, and every time you hear it, like it brings back a new memory. Oh, I remember when Blue Devils did this, or I remember when Pride did this, or I remember when this group did this. And now you
Mhm.
can add Warren Central to the list.
Yep, exactly. I love that they, those hoops could have felt a little like clunky or clumsy, but they did a good job of really keeping it interesting as they moved around the tarp, as they incorporated themselves in and around it, and through them and all that, all of that. They just did a great job. It was just fun to watch it play out and yeah, other than that blue flag, that blue lame flag, 10 out of 10. That's
Yeah.
spectacular. Yeah.
And those hoops were heavy. You could hear them when they would like drag on the floor. Like those were not
Yeah.
plastic PV. Those were solid metal.
Probably from some I don't know, barn apparatus or something. I don't
Yeah.
know, like Indiana cornfield something or other. Yeah.
I do want to give a quick shout out to Destiny. She's a fan of the pod, and I talked to her. But she is the dancer at the beginning that has the book, and then
Okay.
she comes out with the piece of material. And I
Oh yeah.
messaged her, and I was like, "Hey, do you know what this dancer is carrying?" And she goes, "Oh, by the way, that's me." I was like, "Oh," and it's her old childhood blanket.
Oh, neat.
So everything old is
That's
new
really
again, just
sweet.
taking old stuff.
Yeah.
So shout out to her. And then
I guess. Hey.
another little kind of old, everything old is new again. Did you catch they did the old school traditional central 4 count toss with that wind
Mhm.
across and release like that they had at the end of every single show?
Franklin Central, which then Warren Central started to do when he went there. So they've been, yes, the crazy, crazy fast, but release and catch. Like yeah, it was so, yeah, that was awesome. I don't remember that being there before, so I wonder if that was new or maybe I just didn't catch it.
Yeah, I don't remember. I didn't remember it being there either. So I think it might have been something they added for Dayton.
Yeah, that was good.
And then of course they had the double rifle feature where they put the one on the small of
Oh
their back.
yeah, on the back, and they were spinning. Yeah, that was very cool.
I loved it. I don't know why it was a slow.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they made finals. That's all that matters, I guess. But
Yep.
it's interesting to see the shifting around of some of those things. But that's all right.
We still love it. So
Yep, love it. Great
let's
job.
move on to 13th place. We had Little Elm High School with their show Here Now. They were 13th in finals, 14th out of semis, 16th in the rankings.
Mm,
And they were our gold medal winner in Scholastic Open last year.
that's right. Beautiful. Mm,
And also, kind of tying back to last year. So, the music they use is this year is The End by Patty Griffin, same
okay.
artist they used last year for Ruby's Arms.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So reused the artist, and I was getting her or their artist mixed up with the Woodlands artist because they're both Patties. Little Elm is Patty Griffin, and I think Woodlands is Patty Smith.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I was like, are they using the same artist? I mean, when back when I was like looking up music.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of music, there is a Spotify playlist for all of the finalists. So all of them are up. So if you are only listening to this episode, you can go and hear music from all of the finalists across all the classes. The links will be in the show notes.
Love that you did that. Thanks for that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, we had the idea last year and never really did it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm Shazamming this anyway to find out what these songs are. So,
Yeah. Awesome.
although some of these guards don't have music in there, and that's a different story. But but Little Elm had the boxes printed all over the floor, and then they had the actual box like stages all over the floor of different heights and different colors of brown, and they were in those white kind of like an off-white.
They're more, yeah, kind of a creamy, yeah, more off-white, creamy white. Yeah. Really pretty costume. I liked it. I thought it was very attractive and kind of a loose, puffy sleeve, really, really pretty and
Made sense with how busy the floor is to kind of have just like a minimal costume.
mhm. Yeah, and then the flags were all, the flag colors they chose popped against everything really, really well.
It is
Yeah.
a nice green in the beginning, and then they finish with like a pink, I believe.
Oh, I love that pink one. That was beautiful. Yeah. Love that one at the end. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, this one kind of got lost in my brain, I think a little bit, just in the grand scheme of things, but like I liked it a lot. They were very good. I was really loved that they kind of powered through their season and kept getting better and better. And it was like every week it was fun to see their scores from like their local circuit and then when they would go to a regional and kind of just watching them figure this class out as they're new to it and
And this class is a jump. This is a big jump from
yeah,
Open to
yeah.
World. And
And here they are. They made it into the finals, and that's really, really awesome. And again, beautiful, elegant, super poised and well trained. I thought, yeah, and the set design, like you said, the set was really cool. I love how dimensional it was.
I agree 100%. And I think this is, like you said, a great first effort for them in World. Very
Mhm.
promising for the future as now, okay, we
Yeah,
know how World works. We've made it into finals. We know what we need to do, how we need to progress. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how they go. I don't know kind of like their like how old they are. Like some guards, oh, we have a ton of seniors, which can be very tricky. I don't know where they are in that whole thing because we had some guards graduate out of like American Fork lost like 14 seniors last year. They graduated out 14 kids. Woodlands, even though you never knew it, graduated out like 18 kids or something. But they have like
Lost
75 guards,
18, gained 36. It's
right?
fine. Yeah.
But for these smaller areas, I mean, they're from Texas, so I don't know their
I
situation. But
don't-
like school, like
Yeah.
in Norwin, is in a very small school district, so them losing a lot of seniors actually hurts.
Yeah. But no, great job. Enjoyed it. Glad they were in the finals. It was awesome.
Yeah, congrats.
Mhm.
Let's move on to 12th place, which was Stoneman Douglas High School with their show We Built This City. They were 12th in finals, 12th out of semis, 14th in the rankings. And fun little fact,
Mhm.
this is their show from 2020, the COVID year.
Well, that's fun.
The seniors, so they have a large senior class. I got this from somebody who works with them. The 2020 show was like one of the first shows that they got to see, and they fell in love with it. And then the season got canceled. So the seniors basically kind of went to the staff and said, can we redo that show? Because we want to take it to Dayton and make finals with it. So, and it's still out on YouTube. You can go and Stoneman Douglas 2020 Winter Guard and you'll see this show. It's not a literal copy, but they have the crane, they have the steel props. The floor is different, but I'm all for it. You lost the season. Why not reuse
I
it?
mean, hey, yeah. That's really cool. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I would never have really known. So,
Me either. It's just because somebody on staff was like, here's a fun little nugget. So
yeah, cool. Yeah, and great set design. Oh my gosh, that tarp, when they opened it up, it was kind of like, whoa, this is really, really cool. And then having the crane prop and some of the beams that they used and things,
mhm.
just really, really great texture and dimension to everything once they got it all set up.
They used a cover of We Built This City, and then
Mhm.
it goes into like they have a lot of voiceovers of like construction workers and how they built the skyscrapers, and then they pull out this yellow flag that has the guys eating lunch on the steel beam. That iconic photo is on that yellow flag, and very good theming.
Yeah, great theming. Love the costume. Oh, the costume I thought was really fun. That kind of just worker look to everything, but the different colors, kind of just subtle variations amongst each performer to it that made it feel, a little more realistic-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. They had just a really great run in finals, and there were some moments with the Sabers that like just the writing and how they interpreted the music with that equipment. I really enjoyed watching that. I was like, this is really I don't know, just kind of fun and I don't know. It's just something about it was just like I'm digging this part. This is great.
I did like the whole, of course they do the crane trick. They toss the crane. They
Yes.
had one performer just spinning the crane at a constant speed, and
Yeah.
so you get the what you're looking for. It's like you're like, oh, I hope they toss over that
Yeah.
crane, and they do it. Remember when Carmel did the hoops? They had the big hoops all over the floor,
Big. Yeah.
and they had that one that was sitting like 15 feet high. At the very end of the show, the whole time you're like, somebody better toss through a hoop. Somebody better, and then literally the last thing, that's how they ended the show, and it's just like, thank you, you gave me
Yeah.
what I wanted.
Yeah.
Same vibe when you see the crane kind of out here. So good to see them back in finals. They missed, I think,
Yes.
they
Couple
missed
years.
last year. I think they made
But
it the year
yeah.
before.
Yeah. I can't remember. But yeah, but I'm always happy to have them in the mix. It's always good to see what they're gonna do. They always give us something fresh every season. It's always exciting to see what they're gonna bring out. And
Yeah, go Team Florida. Let's move on to 11th place. We had Norwin High School with their show A Fine Line. They were 11th in finals, 10th out of semis, 12th in the ranking. So right in that spot
yeah.
where they were working. The music is Light of the Seven from Game of Thrones. This has been used a few times, and I don't blame people because it is amazing. It's like a 7.5 minute piece that has so many great parts to pull from. I heard the first three notes. I'm like, I know this song. And it comes from like one of the most iconic scenes of the whole series.
Okay.
So I don't. Did you ever watch Game of
Uh,
Thrones?
I tried to start it, and I got like two episodes in, and I was kind of just like it was neat, but also I didn't. It was a lot, and I just didn't care.
Yeah, I will say when I started watching it, it was felt the same thing because they just the first episode, they're just gonna drop you in the middle of everything, and you're like, I'm
Mhm.
being introduced to like 60 characters. What is going on?
So many characters, and yeah, I just it was a lot, and I just said, you know what? I don't. I just no, no, thank you.
Well, one of the main characters blows up an entire like cathedral with a bunch of people in it, and this music is the scene, the setting behind it all. It's
Oh.
it's really cool, really cool. Well, let's talk about this color guard. They had the like five rotating props, like little
Yeah, yeah,
platforms,
almost. Yeah, yeah, rectangular platforms. That yeah, that's right. They kept spinning around.
and then just some board props. They had some of them propped up like triangles at the beginning of the show. Pretty minimalist setup. They're very black.
Minimal. Yeah, yeah. The black white palette and every the costume was so cool.
They had like a fin on them, like on the
It was
side.
yeah, just like this extended part that had that was kind of I don't want to say ruffly exactly, but it had a ripply effect to it the way it was sewn and that white stripe that was so stark white. I'm glad they kept it clean. Yeah, it was cool to watch them use that. I
The
don't
hands
know.
on the weapons. I remember seeing them like at the Avon Regional. Yeah. And I was just like, whoa,
Fantastic, fantastic weapons. And but ultimately it comes down to that flag feature.
that flag feature. Oh,
That's I mean whatever else before was great, sure, but that flag feature. Oh my goodness.
with
And
that black flag with that white diagonal line, that was like a
that
huge
white
tick
line,
mark.
and then once they move around and then they line themselves up diagonally and start to do that shifting their weight, boop, 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 boop,
And it just starts building
and
down from the corner.
add, and then we'll boom into that release and that the pitch on that toss was flawless, so incredible. It was that was a spectacular moment. I mean, wow. Yeah.
I'm just bummed we didn't get like one of those like, like a J toss or I mean just that just rip the silk around because I mean you had me go I
Build,
just
build, 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 and then we
just
kind of
rip it.
yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, but so.
I mean I still loved it, but I was like, you gotta throw one of those in there too. Just
But such a cool show, and kind of a I guess a darker theme if you want to think of it that way. A little more, soundtrack was heavy-ish. Yeah, just great. They're such strong rifles in particular, I think. Yeah, just really really cool. Again, I kind of didn't expect it. I was like, oh, what are they gonna bring out? Okay, wow, speaking just back to that variety of everything.
yeah, and I think it speaks to the quality of the class as a whole because I'm like, this was 11th.
Mm-hmm.
Like this was
Yeah.
11th. And like when they got on those rotating props and they're throwing tosses and they're turning the performer so somebody else catches or almost like a turnaround. Kind of like I think Pride kind of did something. Was it the Wanderlust year when they had the really big ones?
Yeah, that big like compass kind of thing that kept
Yeah.
around. Yeah.
Just quality program after quality program after quality program. It's a tough year for Scholastic World.
Hmm.
But I loved it. Yeah, the flag feature was the absolute highlight of the show. So many other great things, but yeah, that flag feature is clip worthy.
Yeah.
Already bouncing around Instagram and
Yeah.
TikTok. So
Yes. But always loved, like I said, always love to see what they're gonna do and enjoyed this in equal measure, and I can't wait to see what they do in the fall.
oh, they were great. Did you see them in the fall this year with the wigs?
They were spectacular in the fall. Yeah. Doing lots of great stuff over there. So keep it up.
Keep it up, Norwin. All right, let's move on to 10th place. We're going to stay with the Norrs here. We have Northview with their show Note to Self. They were
Yes.
10th in finals, 11th out of semis, 13th in the rankings. And this was the schoolgirls.
Absolute blast of a show. This was so much fun. The athleticism in this group
Oof.
always astounds me. I mean, it's almost like, okay, tumbling comes first, then we learn to spin equipment, and then we, it's like, the priorities here. I mean, just wow, they are so acrobatic. They get to show it off in such a fun way every year, and this one was no exception. Just that soundtrack was a 10 out of 10.
The artist is Noga Erez if you're interested. It is on the playlist, but if you want to go looking for that music, it's Noga Erez.
Fun album. The whole album is a lot of fun. And again, I would not have thought we would have heard anything like this in finals. So this is great. Yeah, and the kind of badass schoolgirl vibe to their personality, and some of that attitude that was sprinkled all the way through the I don't really care vibe, the F on the flag, and the some of I don't know,
Yeah.
some of that just quirky fun stuff, and the use of the desks, and I mean just so many
The desks.
things in the show that were just so clever and really creative, and that we haven't really seen before too. I don't know that I've ever seen a group pull a bunch of desks out and
Northview actually, remember when they did their secretary show and the floor was a big keyboard? This is like 2003.
yes, 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 the office workers.
Yeah. They had like the opera song.
The clock watchers. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, we're in the office and they had all the big desks. The big like office desks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great show too.
You talked about the athleticism in this color guard. They were up and down off those tables, and they just like hopped up there. The knees on these, they have young knees again. Let me tell you.
Knees, hips, ankle. I mean the whole all of it. Ah,
Like
gosh.
if I could march one show, I would want to march this one, but I would not be physically able to march this show.
Exactly. Like, please, please just let me stay on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just up and down and then they're doing turnarounds on those tables,
Uh-huh.
standing and then on their knees. I mean, just they don't have like sky high tosses. Like they're not out there throwing sevens, but they
Hmm.
add their difficulty and their risk in so many other ways. Turning
Yes.
around and stepping down off these desks at the same time, spinning in a confined area, being in that small space of that desk, 3 feet off the ground.
Hmm.
It's just, and then
Yeah.
spinning in those shoes on a color guard tarp.
Yes, I know. Yeah, that kind of it's almost like a cheerleading shoe. I think they're lightweight, but they've got a not quite a dance shoe exactly, but I love that they keep wearing those. It's really fun. I think it probably helps them with all the acrobatics too, but
Oh, I'm
probably
sure.
a really good grip and support for that. But
And then that blue and green flag that came out. So I had an epiphany on this one. I think that was like, because they're schoolgirls. I think that's supposed to be them like daydreaming out the window because it's like a blue sky with green grass and there's like a red or pink
cool.
bird in the corner.
That makes sense.
And the
Okay.
music is kind of like it's very like reverberating and kind of weird. So it's almost like you're like lost in a fog or a haze. So I bet you're just staring out the window.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they chuck papers at the end. So one of our paper guards.
So much paper this year. More paper. Really, really fun show. Is this the one you were gonna say something about?
Yep, this is the one. If you're looking for a job, they're looking for a new director. They posted it on Facebook that the director is stepping down and they're looking for a new director. So if you want to be the new director of Northview High School, there's a job for you.
Yep.
They've only made finals in Scholastic World for the past like 30 something years or something. So no pressure or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And they've got a great band program, great fall outdoor group and everything. So a lot of good tradition and history with that program, and that community definitely loves it over there. So
But like you said, the I guess one of the benefits of it is you're only really dealing with one color guard. It's not like these other like Avon or Carmel that has like 3, 4 groups.
to the best of my knowledge, the Northview High School guard is it. They've got a cadet guard, I think that's like kind of elementary level, but they don't they don't have multiple units coming out of just Northview High School. So one team, they do it all.
Love, love, love Northview. Love them since the first show I ever saw of them was '98 when they did the Human Voice show, like kind of
Yeah,
like the
that
Blast test run.
the first one I ever saw was the next year, 99. They had a whole bunch of like percussion stuff. It was all like white. They were in white, the tarp was white, and they had the whole big like basically the front ensemble, but it was in the back of the I mean they had a whole hit percussion section going on in the back, and it was wild.
So long-standing program, big fans. Congrats, Northview. This is a guard I want to see. I can't wait to see what you're going to do next year.
Exactly. Yeah, every year I'm always like, ooh, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Yeah.
Let's move on to ninth place. We had El Dorado High School with their show It Starts as a Whisper. They were ninth in finals, ninth out of semis, 10th in the rankings.
Okay.
And they had the beautiful, like leaf, like large tropical leaf floor and all those tubes.
The big tube tree prop. Oh, God. And they were in
That brown sequin.
stunning brown sequins. Absolute heaven. This show, I think for me, this was the most beautiful show, just in terms of just the way it looked, I mean, all, the aesthetics of everything. It's absolutely gorgeous. And
Yeah.
last year too, it was the same thing last year. Stunning aesthetic,
Oh, last year. Oh,
the visual look of everything they did, the tarp, the props, the flags, and this year, just wow, 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 big, fantastic musical moments in the flag line. They wrote some stellar flag stuff to pick up this soundtrack. I just, yeah, really enjoyed watching that when those green flags pop up in the back and we get some contrary motion going on, and they're just accenting that soundtrack so well. I don't know, just a lot of fun moments within that part of the group.
I like the flag feature where it's just kind of like
Oh,
a lot going on. And then all of a sudden, wham, they just all of a sudden out of nowhere come together.
yes, yeah, yeah. They're spilling out with all the colors of the flower, and then blah, 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 blah. It's like it swirls and swirls, and then woof, and it just and a white pole. So you better be clean. And they were just stunning, absolutely stunning.
Yeah, you young designers listening, if you learned anything from us, it's don't use a white pole and don't put a big old white stripe in your flag.
And if you do, buckle up because you got a lot of work to do. Yeah, just and then yeah, and then that just dissolves away, and then the trees come, and then the performers are the roots supporting the tree. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful show.
Yeah, I don't remember. I did it for the regional recap. I forget. I looked it up what the poem is or the reading, and it's narrated by Jane Goodall,
Yeah.
the late Jane Goodall.
Okay.
So that's what the recording is. I feel like if I remember correctly, it's like planting a seed and things growing. So I feel like the tubes kind of represent us kind of rebuilding the earth and rebuilding a forest and trees and flowers growing and everything. So I like how they change and manipulate the stage a lot with the tubes, and they
Yes.
continue to build from the back. Like throughout the show, they start to stand them up, and they were
Mhm.
building that garden or that forest or whatever, and those costumes.
Yeah.
Oh, the sequins. We talked about earlier. The sequins are sequining this year,
But
Dayton. It's just
so hard. It's so great.
great effort from El Dorado. I like that it was a little different avenue for them, like not a 180. It was just like a little shift for them. And I liked it. It was almost a little more high energy.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I can see that. Yeah. Had a little bit more punch to the, especially like that the middle part. I think with the weapons and things, they got to be a little bit more aggressive. Great
El
job.
Dorado, you're gorgeous. Let's move on to eighth place with Miamisburg High School and their show Fantasy Impromptu. They were
Mhm.
eighth in finals, eighth out of semis, seventh in the rankings, and very, very, very stripped down show. And the music they're using is Fantasy Impromptu by Chopin.
Mhm.
First Flight also used this in their show, so if it sounded familiar, that's why. And they had two big purple curtains on those giant poles that kind of they used to
Yeah, the
manipulate.
big stretchy, yeah, like purple spandex, and they kept kind of manipulating that, creating some different shapes and dimension and things with that. Always incredibly talented performers. I mean, the students are wonderfully, wonderfully trained.
It's amazing how long Miamisburg has been able to hold that standard. I mean, the late '90s they were the top of Scholastic World, and
I mean,
still in Scholastic World.
still just well, and even yeah, even coming out of the 80s. I mean, they were into the early 90s. They were just
Yeah,
gosh,
they '91. I mean, with the Candle in the Wind show.
yes, yes. Oh, just so many incredible shows from in the past. And yeah, they just, I mean, steady, steady every time. Yeah, this one was great. Didn't grab me in any particular way necessarily from like just the overall I guess, concept or whatnot. But I enjoyed watching it,
Unfold.
yeah, unfold as far as just how they use the props, mixing that in with the performers to kind of highlight things and add, again, just adding that dimension to certain moments as they shifted around. The personality of the performers did shift almost kind of halfway through. I think they kind of started with one kind of air or attitude, and then I noticed it shifted a little bit to get more playful. Great flag feature from them. I enjoyed that. I thought that was
Yeah.
lovely. Just I don't know, just it was just a solid show. Nothing that really stood out in any way, good, bad, or otherwise. It was just super solid, fantastic kids. Lots of the double weapon parts, that they
That's
were
become their staple. Yeah.
really exposed moments with that,
That's
and
Heather Graham. I think she kind of, I don't want to say she started that because people have done double equipment for a very, very long
yeah,
time, but just like the very specific tricks we've seen with the tossing and then the chucking like over your shoulder behind you, she started with that Miamisburg and prominent name. So she's been bouncing around. So like Boston does it,
it's very baton trick inspired.
and she's a twirler.
She is okay.
She
My
is a
brain was
twirler.
thinking, I was like, I feel like I heard that she might have been a twirler in the past, so it gives very that.
Yeah, she is a twirler. And from my
Which is
understanding, she
cool, and
was
it's
a
fun.
very, very good one too.
Yeah, that's awesome. And side note, this I don't know that Miamisburg did it, but thinking about some of those moves you might do on a baton, there were a lot of fishtails happening on rifle saber and flag this year.
Yeah, Fishtail's making a comeback.
I was like, oh, all right, fishtail. That's and but there was somebody I did it on flag, and I was like, what? You just okay?
I saw that. Who was it? Because I
It
did
was
see it.
fab. It was kind of like subtle in there, but it happened, and I was like, well, they just okay.
I remember seeing it. I don't remember who it was. Yeah. It was funny is, I went to George Mason's auditions. They asked me
Mhm.
to do their saber auditions because their weapon person had surgery. I was like, yeah, sure.
Maybe it was George Mason.
On a flag?
Can't
Could
remember.
be.
Oh, well, anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
But so I was teaching my saber choreography and I'm like, okay, we're gonna do a fishtail. And I'm like, dude, does everybody know? And they all knew how to do it. And I was just like, I felt so like dumbfounded. I'm like, because this is like an old school kind of thing. I'm like, I didn't think people taught these anymore.
Like fishtail, double time, triple time. Like nobody. That's
Who was it that did a fish? All right. So if you're listening, who did the fishtail on flag? Because
yes.
I can see it in my head, but I
I can
cannot
see
pick the
it too,
guard.
but I can't figure out which specific group it was. But there was somebody, and I was like, that was great. It was great because that's hard on flat. God, it's hard enough on weapon,
Right?
but yeah,
God, oh, this is gonna drive me crazy. Okay, I'll figure it out.
maybe it was an open class, but somebody did it, and I was just like, wow, oh my god, yeah. I've only ever gotten kids to do it on saber. It just seems to be the easiest.
Yeah, the way it's weighted, yeah. Most like
Like,
a
oh,
baton. So
doodly-doo, and just grab it and whip it around and go on, But anyway, who are we talking?
fishtail paloozas.
Yes,
Lots
fishtail.
of old tricks are coming back. Yeah, like you said, lots of double time now and the old school catch under the leg, like where the very simple one where you just reach under your thigh, you just turn your body. Like the
Yes. Yep. That one and
and the touching the ground. Did you notice that? Whereas you spin, they would reach down and
uh-huh.
touch the ground with one hand while the equipment was in the other.
Uh-huh.
North, you did it. I mean, it's a trend. Like I'm just
Yeah.
like everybody's touching the ground while they're spinning.
Well, there's so many of those things that groups used to do, especially I think in the 80s, that like I mean they were doing so much stuff underneath equipment back then that was just like, let me throw a double, but I'm gonna turn around underneath it. What? Why? Oh my God. Or yeah, it's just or I don't know, just so many different little things that yeah, they're bringing stuff back. I love it.
Yeah, for those of you trying to get your double turns out, try doing a triple with a single turn
Yep.
because it helps you learn how to catch coming right out of that turn. So if you're trying to do a double turn under a five or something like that, where you don't have a lot of time to turn, do a
Mhm.
single turn under a triple.
Yeah, because that's a lot of groups you definitely used to do that. Throw a triple with a single turn underneath it. But those turns were, I mean, they were on a tip of a pencil. Whip it around, boom, catch it. Terrifying, but yeah. Anywho,
I forget where we were with Miamisburg.
I don't know. But talented kids, solid
Cool,
show.
cool idea with the curtains and just
What I did with the curtains. Yep.
and manipulating the stage that way and just having
Hmm.
Did they even pull out a tarp?
They did. I'm almost positive they pulled out it was a black tarp because it
Okay.
had some markings. There were some markings on it.
Oh, for like where they need to
I think
stand the curtains
maybe
and everything.
where they needed to put, yeah, just those checkpoints or whatever. But
Because like Paramount didn't.
that's right. Yeah, Paramount didn't have.
They pulled out that like border thing that had markings on it or whatever, but
Did Juxta have a tarp?
that's a great question.
Maybe they didn't because they just had all those props, but not a full tarp.
Right? The props and the rolly carts and congrats to Miamisburg, Stalwart, and Scholastic World. We'll see you again next year. Let's move on to seventh place. We had Carmel High School with their show When It Rains. They were seventh in finals, seventh out of semis, fifth in the rankings. And I feel like a huge idiot with this show because everybody kept saying, "Oh, it's the Rihanna song. It's the Rihanna song." And I'm like, "No, it's completely different." No, it is. It is Rihanna's Umbrella, but it's just the take on it is so different. I was watching it and I'm like, "Wait, these are Rihanna's lyrics."
That's a song I don't think I ever really fully listened to the verses of. So yeah, to not I was kind of like, it sounds really familiar, but I don't did she say those words before? Maybe I don't really know. But yeah.
I caught it in the chorus when I was watching it. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, it is. I was wrong. I'm the moron." Shazam found this. It's by
Oh,
Sandust, but it does not exist. So
oh,
there's strong belief this is an AI track.
oh,
And if you go to YouTube, the comments are turned off on on the song. So that's another thing. So
too
I
bad.
I don't want to conversation for a different day, but could not add it to the Spotify playlist for that reason. So if you're looking for it, you'll have to find it on YouTube.
Still, I mean, it's still a great track. I mean, it
Yeah.
is it's cool. It was neat. I'm glad they were able to use it and give us a show with it that was really fun and
That
kind of
opening dancer.
delightful and fresh. Oh, the movement of the whole group, but that dancer in particular, yeah, so great. They really have put a great emphasis on their movement skills, which I think is really lovely. And they just carry themselves so effortlessly and just can just move through space and time so beautifully. And then of course when they pick up equipment, then
Right?
add that on top of it and wow. Yeah.
One little detail people might not have been able to catch, especially for the
Mm.
flow watchers. You probably saw this when you were there for semis, so you saw it in person.
Yep.
Their floor was a black tarp, but it had little, I don't know what, I don't want to call it silver or white, but it had little dots all over it that was like a shiny versus matte to look
Yeah.
like raindrops all over the floor that you could see in person, but it really didn't carry on the camera.
Yeah, it was hard to see on the camera, but yeah, it was just glistening with the, fresh raindrops, so to speak, of scattered all over.
Yeah, think of like the raindrops you would see like on the windshield of your car, like all those
Mhm.
little circles. That's what it was all over their floor.
Yeah.
And they had the giant umbrella, the patio umbrella. I wish that was in a different color though.
That was my biggest note is this whole show read very dark and I wish that there had been a little bit more pop to certain things. The umbrella, the big umbrella, the smaller umbrellas, I wish there had just been a little bit more detail put into that so that it wasn't so navy on black. It was just, that just it just read very heavy, very dark in person and on, on float marching too. So it's just, yeah, that was the big, I guess my biggest bummer was like I wish there was just a little bit more life to all of this.
What color would you have made the umbrella? Like the light blue to match the tops of the uniform, or maybe the yellow like they pull out
No,
later?
I guess in my mind I would have probably just bedazzled it more. I would have given it some
Like I had water all over it, like it was in a rainstorm.
maybe made the top of it look like it has water, but then the underside is like a you know maybe slightly lighter color blue sequin or rhinestones or something just to give it some element of texture and not so flat.
Mm. We're nitpicking, but
I mean, yeah, yeah, but that was the thing that stuck out. I was just like, this. I love everything they're doing. It just I wish there had been a little bit more pizzazz.
I heard they didn't pull the water guns out for semis. Is that true?
They pulled them out for semis, but in finals it didn't. So
I saw it on the video, so they were attached to the umbrella because
the clear umbrellas,
it had water hoses on.
water.
There was,
Yes. So in semis, they had water shoot out from the corners also.
oh, okay.
But in finals, I don't think that happened. And I wonder if maybe they got told not a good idea, or,
Oh, like the TMP judges.
maybe it was messier than they anticipated. I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's just water. It's not like they're
Probably
checking
folks, if
paint
you're
everywhere.
listening, you know, but regardless, it was a fun element with the water coming out of the clear umbrellas. It was just it was like, oh my gosh, this is great. Yeah. It was hard to see on flow though, I will say that. It was hard to see on that. Live, of course, you certainly saw it, but um
Yeah, because the crowd started going crazy, and not
mhm.
not to be shady, but nothing had happened on the
Like
floor. I'm
it
like,
was
why
like
are we screaming?
what's happening? Yeah, it was like, oh, because there's water everywhere.
And then you see like it almost looked like a puff of smoke that was. I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I got it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. But yeah, it's all right. But I love but that element of it was a fun just a fun surprise and
Training on the group is impeccable.
spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. The umbrella flag was fun. I thought that was a fun splash of color against everything, and just the design of it. That was really cute.
Yeah, and the other thing that kind of took me back with Carmel is the amount of performers they had on the floor. They were big this year
Big, big group. They had a big fall guard.
because usually they're a little smaller, around usually around 16 or so, 16, and that they felt like they were pushing 30 on this for the
Maybe,
show.
maybe, yeah, 30 or 32-ish, maybe something like that. Yeah, they good size.
So I remember back to the year they won with the piano. I think they
Mm,
had maybe 14 kids on the floor,
hmm.
but it's just
Yeah.
I did when they I remember we seen them live. I was like, wow, Carmel's big this year. The world team's big, and then they also have an A guard too. So
Hmm. I think they have an A and maybe even a regional A.
probably wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
And a middle school, and an elementary school, and an in utero, and a
Yes.
start
Yes.
them early.
That's right.
But yeah,
But
love
just
the show.
enjoyable. Love it. Great
I like
job.
this vibe on them. I know some people are like, I don't like the R&B. I like the R&B vibe
Oh,
on them.
I like the last few shows they've done the last few years. I'm into this. Like they're showing off again. They move so well, and they're just letting them. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm here for it. I love
a little
it.
more personality, a little more, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
let them
They're not
loose a little
quite. They're
bit.
not quite so. Maybe more relaxed. Maybe they just feel a little more relaxed into themselves, and you can't see
Yeah.
what I'm doing with my arms again. But I'm.
He was very statuesque at the first, when he's like very, very, think like apple on the head, very prim, proper. They always have that air of
And they're just kind of
professionalism. And
settled into themselves, and now I can be a little bit more just relaxed and still very sleek and sophisticated, but with just a calm, cool, casual way about it too.
yeah.
Keep it up, Carmel. You're doing fab stuff. Always love to see what they do.
And I know we're looking forward to seeing them in outdoor.
Oh, I cannot wait for that. Yeah.
Let's move on to sixth place. We had Center Grove High School with their show Motivus or Motivus. I don't know how I've heard it pronounced both. They were sixth in finals, sixth out of semis, fourth coming into the weekend in the rankings. And we all remember the show. This is the one that had the singular performer in the yellow
Mhm.
costume. The rest of the guard was in that like wine, purpley, violet color.
Yeah.
And the biggest takeaway from this show is just the insane amount of pressure put on this singular performer, the responsibilities,
Mhm.
how she stood out, and how she handled it so well.
Yeah.
And after finals on the multicam, she finished, and the announcer's like Center Grove High School from Green, and she just everything just come out. Everything just came out. She all that emotion she just let loose, and they all swarmed her.
Aw.
Uh,
Yeah. It's this show took me a while to really like I'm like, what is this? I don't quite get it. I don't understand what's happening.
you said you had some thoughts before we
And
started
then
recording.
and I could be completely way off. So Center Grove folks, if you're if you're out there listening and I'm wrong by a million miles, you feel free to tell me, but be gentle about it. My interpretation was okay. She's the performer in the yellow. She is the motivation for everything else that happens in the entire show. She's moving through and things are getting. You can't see my hands again. Yeah, we have to start doing this as a video because I feel like my hands are really important here. But yeah, she starts to move and is initiating the other performers to start moving around and shifting and whatnot, and the kind of swirling patterns on the tarp and whatever. So she is the motivation
The
for
motive is.
exactly. And then it just keeps swirling and swirling around her, and then boom, we get that big flag feature with everybody towards the end, and that's kind of was where my I was like, I think this is kind of it. Yeah, that was like okay, and when I think of it that way, I'm like, got it, makes total sense because there are moments where the yellow performer's by herself at times, kind of just doing whatever, and then syncs up with one or two others and kind of there's a moment there and then it breaks off again, and that just kind of kept going back and forth with all of that. That was really impressive to see and to be aware of and watch play out. I think that was really where I was like, this is very, very well put together, and these performers are nailing it. Stunning flag ability. I mean, just they spun flag a long time.
I mean, she spun flag for like 5 minutes.
She spun flag for a long time on her own, yeah. But then the rest of them, when they joined in, that purple flag feature, oh wow, or was it yellow flag? I can't remember, but
They
I think
all spin yellow at the
it
end, but
was
yeah.
yellow.
But they do
But
have a
my
purple
brain
flag
wanted
too.
it. My brain wanted it to be purple. Just I don't know. Just I thought it was just great, just really great. Probably one of again, it grew on me as the season went on. I wasn't convinced for a long time this season, and then those last couple performances, I was like, okay, I'm here for this. It was great. Like a beautiful costume, just all I don't know, it just and very enjoyable and very intriguing because it was just like, what is happening? It really kept you engaged watching this whole thing play out and
Absolutely, yeah. Seeing this, the one performer, you're like, okay, maybe it is kind of open to interpretation. It's what you want it to be. Like, what do you think she represents? Why do you think she's by herself? Alex in our predictions episode felt it was kind of more of like a planetary kind of thing where she kind of represents the sun, and kind of similar to your take on it as well. Like the sun is kind of why we're here, why we exist. If we didn't have the sun, it's the motivus for life in general. And just I'm impressed they were able to write 5 minutes of flag work for this girl.
just and she was doing some great stuff. There were so many body rolls and just different things where she was just I mean she was great.
And it
And
didn't look overly repetitive either.
uh-uh. Yeah, I had the thought, I wondered outside of the times where she has to sink in with the others and there's some unison moments, I wonder how much of that she
Like got to improv.
yeah, like did it change? Did she play with it and change it up, or was she really doing the same choreo I don't know. And because we wouldn't know necessarily, so it'd be kind of a fun tidbit to find out if that ever happened, but
Yeah, I know Fantasia had parts like that
yeah.
where it was just straight up improv. The performers changed their thing because that was what the whole show was about. But I do like that really cool moment where she kind of she starts giving her flag to other people, and
Hmm.
they have that. I don't want to call it a lift, but it's like a weight sharing moment where they
Yeah.
grab her by the foot and she starts leaning away.
Oh, wasn't that? And it was like suspended, like whoa,
Yeah,
slow mo kind of moment, and pulls back. That was incredible.
and then that ending yellow flag feature. Homegirl, she had to be tired. I love to spin a flag. I could spin a flag for a
Same.
long
I mean,
time.
I could just keep it going, but
But then you watch her and you're like, I don't know.
man, that's
I
that's a
don't know if
lot.
I
Yeah,
could do all that
I know.
with that pressure because everybody's looking at you.
Excellent, excellent job by that performer in particular, but the whole group. I mean, they
Yeah.
really and they're so I don't know. They're kudos to that staff because they're doing a great job of keeping this program feeling fresh, I think, if that makes sense. Like there's a
Yeah. And moving back up the ladder, they were 15th
I know
2 years ago and eighth last year. They tied for eighth, right? Last year.
they're I think so. Yeah, this was their highest placement in a while, which is really awesome. So great
Keep
job.
on keeping on. All right, let's move on to fifth place with Tarpon Springs High School with their show What is Real. They were fifth in finals, fifth out of semis, eighth in the rankings coming in.
Mhm.
And this is another one that the music is not on Spotify. Can be found. This is an original composition done by Rick Subel and I had the name and I forgot it, but it's a composer. They put it all together. So Rick Subel also does Paramount. So they designed the soundtrack there. So you're not going to find it anywhere. So if you're looking for it, sorry about you. And this was geometric black and white floor with all the lines. They had all the like the cube and rectangular props. They had the prop in the back side two corner. Okay, that was a tongue twister for me. That that I didn't realize lit up until I saw it on multi-view.
I didn't notice it lit up until finals. Yeah, I was like, oh, wow. Well, actually, there was actually quite a few of them that I think started lighting up at one point. But yeah, it was. I was like, oh, I totally missed that when I saw it the previous time. So, um,
Very graphic show, very geometric.
very graphic, very striking, stunning.
Uniforms were like a simple fade.
Black, everything was black and white. All the black and white. Yeah, very geometric, but really pleasing to the eye too. Like it all was just like, oh, I like this. Like this is really easy to look at, even though you're taking in a lot of, the back and forth between the black and the white and the different shapes and whatnot. But
I wrote down, holy crap, that candlestick turn at the beginning or that like scorpion turn where she
Mhm.
like a figure skater leg to the back of her
Oh,
head
yes, yes, yes. I was like, whoa.
and did like a triple turn. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's why I wrote down. I was like, they move so effortlessly. It is astounding the ability in this group.
Strong weapons. I love the color, that ending flag that I think it had faces on it, right?
Yes, it was like half the group had kind of one, I think like blue at the pole sleeve with the face, and the other half had the yellow. There was a bit of a
Like an A and a B kind of flag.
yeah a b, but yeah, there was like that black line drawing of a face.
And they had a pink. Was that on the same flag or was it? I forget. I remember they had a
Yeah, it was yeah, I think well yeah, the first flag I think had some like pink in it, blue and pink, and I don't know.
lots of color. I mean, lots of color in the silks because everything else was black and white.
Right, it all made sense and splashed in a great way.
They outlined the weapons with tape similar to, we were just talking about it. Who was
Um,
it? Oviedo, I believe.
Avito, yep, yeah, yeah, across the top of the gun.
Glad to see them back at championships.
Yep, always love to see what they're gonna do. They love a prop, that's for sure, and they
Ooh.
yeah, I got and just I mean the way these kids can so again effortlessly, fearlessly manipulate themselves in and around the stage is just it's just remarkable.
And I feel like this was more of a subdued take for them as a program because we did last time they were dating, they did the newscasting with they had the live musicians, and the year before they did
Yeah,
the origins of cool or whatever they called it,
yeah,
more live musicians. So it's kind of
yeah.
a more of a stripped down.
It wasn't so in your face.
Hopefully they can come back next year. I don't know what their schedule is because they're big in BOA land as well. They were for a while they were coming every
Yeah,
year, and now they're listening back to the off and on.
back to
And
every other. Yeah, I'm not sure. So, but it's always exciting to see what they're gonna do for sure.
yeah, and now they have some more Florida friends to join them with Oviedo and Timber Creek. So it'll be really fun to see how they all shake out.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to fourth place. We have the Woodlands High School with their show Take Me Up. They were fourth in finals, fourth out of semis, third in the rankings. I think this was the cleanest show of the batch, like of all 15.
I heartily agree. This was just a big old wow. Every time I saw it, I just could not believe how clean they were.
And those flags, I mean, especially with the designs, because they had that ending flag feature.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
that ending flag and heaven, absolute heaven. And just, I mean, that's it.
Yeah. They were incredibly clean. The flag feature at the end. I loved that they did it for the most part in an all rifle feature. I think they had like five performers that weren't on gun
Yes, but the bulk of the group was, yeah, did gave us the all, you know.
because I've been dying to see this in the top of this class. Like I want like Avon, Carmel. Will somebody give me an all gun feature because I know all your kids can spin.
They do it outdoors too. I mean, the whole
Oh,
all 60 kids will get a gun and
they were so good in outdoor this year. Oh
crazy.
my god.
Yeah.
I will say my only nitpick with this show. Well, I have two. Three, four. No, I have two. One is I didn't like the song. I didn't. I didn't care for it. It's not my style. The show is beautiful, but just the other thing is I just felt they were just a little too tossy.
Hmm.
I love tosses. I love big effects with tosses, but just I feel the same way with Paramount and Independent World, where it's times where they were just getting a little too tossy. Not
Hmm.
much, but I mean the kids have the incredible skill. I
Right.
show it off. I mean, absolutely. But you can spin the equipment
In
too.
it. Yeah. 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 No, I can see that. I can see that what you mean.
Because last year they did that opening rifle section where they came out of the bench and they were spinning for their lives and throwing their tosses.
Hmm. Yeah, a lot more I guess yeah, a lot more demand in the vocabulary. I mean, still certainly demand in this one too, but I liked the song. I don't know. It grabbed me and it said 90s color guard in like a really great way. I don't know, there was something about it that just said, "Oh, this feels this feels very like all those great 90s shows that were like Tori Amos and Fiona Apple
Oh
vibe."
my God, the Tori Amos era when everybody was using her.
This kind of had that feel to me, and I was just here for it. I don't know, I just loved it so much. I'll be honest, I didn't know what the show was. I mean, I don't know what they were particularly doing storyline wise, if there was a storyline to it or whatever, but I really didn't care because they were great, and I was just I don't know, I just love everything about it was I don't know, I just loved it. I really hoped that I wanted them to get a medal.
Same, especially with how clean they were.
Again, that God, well, the blue flag at the beginning, holy mother of stars, spectacular, and then the flag feature at the end with that kind of wasn't it kind of gold, like goldish, rusty brown, yellowy?
Yeah, it was like a brown. The majority of it was like a gold of like a yellowy kind of, but it had like a
Yeah,
hint of
yeah,
brown in it. Yeah.
just and more brown, so much brown, more brown.
Yeah, and I couldn't figure out what the floor was supposed to be. If it was supposed to be like hay or straw, like were they on a farm or
But then off in the backside too, where they ended at the end of the show, we had this kind of like scaffolding ladder. It's kind of yeah. I'm not sure what
what the setup was?
the whole setup was. Yeah, what's this
Because
at?
they had some planks and boxes as well that
Yeah, yeah, maybe I like your like attic, hayloft, something up. Are we? Yeah, but maybe they'll Woodlands people let us know what was the vibe of this show? What was the premise here? But I mean, I'm here for it regardless. But it'd be fun to know just a little bit more about. Oh, I see it now. You know what? Make it click a little bit more. But
that ending flag feature. Ugh.
so good. What did you know what the song was by chance?
It's called Birdland by Patti Smith.
Okay.
It's like a 9 minute song too, or
Yeah.
something like that. Like when I pulled it up on Spotify, I was like, my God, this song is 9 minutes long or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Patti Smith, Patty with an I, and yeah, it's 9 minutes and 13 seconds long.
Okay. Cool.
You know, I should probably look at the lyrics. Maybe that would make more sense of kind of what the show is if they pulled it from the lyrics.
Mhm.
I mean, I already see here in the very first few lines looking at the shiny red tractor, so maybe there is.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe little farm aspects to it. Okay.
Yeah, circle the blue fields, so we have the blue flag and Yeah, and I'm just talking about the song. Like, take the kids out of it. It's like Goodnight Moon all over again. I'm like, I don't like the song. Nothing against the kids. Oh, mercy. All right, now that I'm going to be on the Woodlands hate list, I'm sorry. I did enjoy the show. I just didn't care for the song. That's all. Let's move on to our bronze medalist. Third place, we had Avon High School with their show Alternate Worlds. They were third in finals, second out of semis, second in the rankings. They were using music from Sun Lux that Bluecoats used this past summer, and Nova Independent also used this music as well this year. And they used two songs, but the big one was Dream State. That was the one that was the majority of the show.
Very, very cool song. Very, very cool.
Yeah. And from what I've heard,
Mhm.
this is a very young color guard. So I've heard that only 5 of these performers were in the Voila show
Okay.
because they were not out last year. So Voila
Right.
was their previous. So that
Yep.
means they were all 10th grade or younger in Voila.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So those 5 would have be seniors or juniors, and then the rest is younger than that.
Wow.
So
That's pretty impressive.
So it could be, it could not be true, could be untrue, but I've heard from people in that area saying, "Oh yeah, they're super young, and only
Yeah.
5 were in the show." And then the back handspring girl apparently is a freshman.
Oh, that's awesome.
Could you imagine tossing and doing a back handspring under it?
Yeah. Nope. Hard enough to toss at my age anyway. I can't. It hurts to do it anyway. Let alone turn around, let alone jump underneath it. Ooh, no thanks.
Ugh, God, to be young again, to be young again.
No kidding.
And they had these 6 large props they assembled on the floor that were like
Yeah.
6-foot poles that were had that connect to poles, and they put blue straps on them
Yeah.
to section off into 4
It
squares.
was giving backyard pop-up tent. Not gonna.
Yeah,
It was giving that.
I don't know what they're supposed to represent. The floor was a bunch of Polaroids that kind of like just stacked all over each other faintly.
Yes, that yeah, which was okay, cool. And then I don't know. No idea. I like the dimension of it. I mean, in terms of just creating, we got, just creating some height and whatnot. I mean, that was cool. Certainly adds some risk for them because they spun under and around it a lot. But yeah, I just didn't connect to it in any particular way. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, the usual amazing training and display of skill that we expect to see from this group, and they definitely did not disappoint in that. Fantastic performers. I felt like the design just was kind of like, okay. But that's just me as as an audience person. That was just me. I was like, okay. Didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, and I think that just comes from like the whole what are the props? Like what are these squares? What do they represent? And I I don't have the smartest brain when it comes to these things, so I could be missing something obvious. But I picked up the floor with Polaroids, and they're taking cameras later, taking pictures later on with the cameras, and I agree with you. Adding the difficulty and the extra dimensions of spinning it. They have the whole flag feature where they're on their knees underneath them.
Yep.
Really cool little detail they do though to get the flags to the front of the floor. So the front line slams them into the ground,
Uh-huh.
and then the back line rolls them forward after they slip. So it rolls up as it rolls to the front of the floor, and then the front line hops over it as it comes at them.
Okay,
So it's choreographed to get it
true. Yeah.
instead of just because I think a lot of guards the front line would put them down, they would move into the floor, and the back line would move forward to the front and put it down. No, they just set it on the floor, shoot it to the front, it rolls up, and
Hmm.
the line in the front hops over it as in body movement and keeps going. So it was a very
That's
cute.
that's pretty slick. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very, yeah, that's great. It was a very slick way to get the equipment off the floor without changing anything. Like it was
Yeah.
fully choreographed,
Yeah.
and they hooked the sabers in like the intersection points of the blue straps on the props, and they
Yeah, but the top and
propped the guns up there. But I don't.
well, see, to me, I keep thinking like the costuming and again and then again the cube prop things. If you hadn't have told me that the tarp had like Polaroid kind of outlines or whatever on it, it felt very futuristic in a way. Like maybe we were trying to do like a not space, but like just
Yeah, yeah, I get that. Yeah, that.
some kind of vibes. but then knowing about the photograph thing, I'm like, oh, okay, well maybe I don't know how that plays into this now, so that it's kind of, I don't know.
I almost wonder if the blue squares were almost supposed to resemble like a Polaroid because they have the double strap, so there's that small gap between them. So
Oh,
like the square is the black square you'd have in a Polaroid, and then you have the
uh-huh.
little white outline of your Polaroid picture.
Yeah,
So maybe that's just like you're pulling the pictures off the floor and raising them up. I don't know.
it's a good idea. Yeah, okay.
That's the only connection I could make. My brain won't go any further. Sorry.
But that's yeah, okay. I
My
like
brain is oatmeal at this point. I mean,
yeah.
so
But I mean, again, great performers, of course,
you
and
cannot deny the training and
they're
the
really just
performance quality of the kids.
their whole being into everything, and it's really fantastic to see. So,
Yeah. And it's good to have them back on the floor.
yeah,
So, and if they're this young, watch out. if,
true, very
if
true.
they're as young as people are saying, this is going to be
Yeah.
scary guard in a couple of years.
Yes.
Let's move on to second place with Flanagan High School and their
Oh,
show Until It's Over. They were
ab
second in finals, third at a semis, sixth in the rankings.
absolutely stunning, breathtaking.
Stunning.
I mean, just any other year, this probably would have won.
Yeah, hands down.
I mean,
Hands down. And that finals
just
run,
heaven, absolute heaven. And I was crying, and I was just, I don't know, it just felt the feels were feeling. The feels were being felt. It was just beautiful. I mean, the sequins were sequining,
the fabric was fabricking.
the aura, the fabric was fabricating, the aura of the whole setup and everything they were created. It's just wow, wow, what an air of kind of serenity almost they brought into the arena, and just this like beautiful, just beautiful.
Yeah. I loved the music choice.
Mhm.
I liked their overly long pre-show this year.
And it's funny. I mean, we had joked previously about how long it was. I was like, oh, it actually wasn't that long. But I mean, what, considering it was like, oh, this was actually just a couple minutes. But so it was kind of funny. I was like, oh, this is, oh, it's, oh, now we're starting now. Okay, we're not like, oh, I don't have 10 more minutes of pre-show to enjoy. But yeah, I like
Well,
that they did that. I thought that was neat. And I don't know, it was just
I like how the show had like a prologue. So they have the pre-show performing their show, blah blah blah. And then they had like
yeah,
30 seconds before they laid down in that hourglass
into
shape.
that shape. And then we get
And then the show
one,
like
so to speak.
yeah, then the show like truly started. I did get a message from one of the staff members. All the fabrics, the ones that were wrapped around their bodies, had printed text with the performer's thoughts and feelings of being a member of the Flanagan Guard on them. And then the flags also had a section in the bottom right corner that had words selected from the kids' letters that were printed on it.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
So all those little personal touches,
I
and
mean, obviously, us in the audience, we're probably not going to see that, but it's fine. It's still
it's an internal detail.
so neat, and that they thought to do that and to make it extra special for the performers who know what's happening and can then use that to propel their performance. It's just, gosh, what
And they
incredible.
were so good in finals because I watched all three of their performances because one, I hadn't really seen it. I saw it at the regional, which that was just a bad angle. And they had that popcorn feature with all the tosses and everything. And prelims and semis, they were struggle busing it.
Yeah.
And then finals, they nailed it. And I was just like, when I saw that, I was like, I said, I think they're going to jump Avon. I think that was a run. It was like when we watched Southington High School, just like, I think they could do it.
Mhm.
I love that fabric pull where they do the rifle turnaround toss, where they pull the fabric to turn the performer around.
Oh, that was just so clever. And I mean, clever feels underwhelming to say, I guess, but like, but it's clever and
The ingenuity and
just, I don't know. And then yeah, and then the fabric, we get these big swashes of color from all this fabric that just comes out, and it's like, I don't know why, but I don't care. I love it, and we needed it, and I just it felt good, and yeah, I don't know, just beautiful. I really, really wish that we gotten a big old flag feature from them,
Yes, with those ending, all
but
those ending flags
but
were
you know,
gorgeous.
but what we got was okay. I'll take 12 or 14 of them versus the whole group, whatever. But it's still just wow, 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 wow.
DPG did their flags, and I'm gonna hit them up
Okay.
and be like, "Do you have any extras sitting around? Like,
Yeah,
I will. I got some coins." It was
they were very pretty. Well, and the first flag they had was like all the different colors, but then they had cut out part of it and put like the lame fabric in there just to get a little shimmer, a little something texture there. I
we
love
didn't
that.
talk about the uniforms.
Oh yeah, the uniforms.
That sequin when they
Beautiful.
finished, I mean, they look like liquid metal. They just
It
is
yeah. And the way that it like the design of it and the pattern was wrapping itself around their body, encasing them in that and just oh, heaven, just absolute heaven. Beautiful.
yeah. And I fully agree. Any other year,
I think this would have been
this
golden.
wins. Yep. Because they were less than a point behind Arcadia. They were not far behind.
Hmm. Yeah, very, very awesome. And just love seeing them back up in the thick of things again.
Yep. Adam Sage is working with them. He's been with them a couple years now, and
Hmm.
they're refining their footing. They've got their identity. I am here for it. I liked them last year. I love them this year. So
Yeah. Keep it up. I can't wait to see what happens in the future with them.
in the future, yes, please come back to Dayton next year. Let's move on to our winner.
Thank
First
you.
across the board, first in everything, Arcadia High School with their show Rewired. This probably one of the coolest shows I've ever seen. Just the all the little gimmicks and the thought that went into taking a concept and pulling every single idea you could out of it. The I never got a good close up view of the uniform, but I know they had like wires, like the red wires kind of around their waist. I don't know if they
Mhm.
actually used that wire or if that was just a
I was
uniform part
trying to figure out if it was, yeah, if it was actually,
functional.
yeah, or if it was just kind of there to just create, texture and something there. I don't know that I ever saw anybody use it, so I think it was maybe just part of the like a belt kind of detail or something. But
There's so many amazing things like this show you have to watch multiple times to catch everything.
yeah,
And the just the cleverness and like the ingenuity of like having the pieces on the rifle so you can connect them and then spinning the saber and then putting the piece of wire on the flag and doing a whole flag feature hanging onto this piece of wire instead of touching the pole and
and having it clean. I mean, hello.
imagine having to clean angles when you're holding onto a
Sure, we can all
wire.
do it, but also we now we have to do it together. I want to know, like, when did they start planning this? Because you can't just show up in December and say, "Hey, kids, we're gonna use wires and pulleys to spin our equipment this year," and then have it be ready to go in a few months. Like, it doesn't, like, when did they start? How did they start? How did they figure all that out? Those are the questions I'm curious about, just to get more behind the scenes stuff with that. But I mean, God, so risky, so creative, full blown commitment from every single one of those performers to make this happen and come to life. And wow, just incredible.
Yeah, so many insane details. I mean, the just the ending where they take the ending silk and they just drape it and they get into the prop and the lines of wire on the silk looks like a full spool of wire because the
Mhm.
spools are now rewired because they're empty at the beginning and they rewire them.
Yep.
I just I think my favorite part of the show though actually has nothing to do with the all the tricks and gimmicks. It's when they do the good old fashioned you have three circles
Hmm.
spinning around the center prop, and they have a circle of flags, a circle of weapons, and a circle of body, and they're all weaving in and out of each other
Oh, it was
with that pink flag.
striking in its own way. It was like, wow, this is.
it was
Yeah.
just the way it built and built and built into these circles, and then the soundtrack hits, and it was just so clean and just so effective, and just they just yeah,
Loved it.
such a cool concept. I wish I could have seen this live.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome. It was fun live to hear the you could hear the pulleys as
Mm.
when they slid stuff across the wires and whatnot. That was kind of funny to like hear the little but it didn't ruin anything. It was just funny to be able to hear that. But
I'd
uh,
say it's probably almost more magical on TV because I did watch some on the multicam, and like that ending flag that shoots across and it shows, and you see that big chunky white wheel and everything. On the high cam and you don't see that. You just see the flag fly across
this,
the floor.
yeah,
You see those two rifles shoot out from the center, like, and then that girl that had the four guns attached to her in the north, south, east, west, and she's just twirling
yes.
around.
Yeah. It's just gosh.
Like, how do you stage this, and how do you like you said, how do you put this on the floor?
Yeah. That's I hope if anyone's out there from Arcadia that can chime in and just give us some info. Really would love to just know some of that behind the scenes of when did the planning start? How did this go? Developing all this and putting it together. Just really curious about it because it just, I mean, incredible. Incredible. The maturity of the performers to pull this off.
Because
And
these are high schoolers.
yeah, I mean, 15, 16-year-olds. Like, what? What? Like, it's just phenomenal. Just phenomenal.
And then they're out there spinning just as well.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, that's yeah. Oh, yeah, by the way, with that too.
They spin beautifully. That opening dancer when she comes and she does that I don't want to call it a kick, but that like just like that.
Mhm.
Like, my God.
Yep. Liquid feeling to their movement ability and just it's just really fabulous. Yeah.
Yeah, this is I would love to know like what they tried that they just couldn't get to work. Because they always try to do more, and it's like, okay,
Mhm.
we just couldn't get this to work, so we had to scrap it. Like I learned something about Anna Sidor we'll talk about in the next episode that they had to scrap, and I'm like, for very good reasons. But
Yeah.
tune in next episode. That's your little
Yeah,
teaser
yay.
for that one. But I would love to know, like, oh yeah, we tried doing this and we just couldn't get to work. We put two flags on a pole or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Yeah, we tried. Yeah, or how did you get to where it ended up? And
And that whole flag feature just where they're,
I mean, they're just slinging it around by a wire. I
but
mean,
then they do a 45 with it too. Like they flick it
yeah,
while
like
holding onto the wire.
I don't getting everyone to understand. I have to shift my grip on the thing to get it into this to get to the release. I mean, what? Wow. Yeah, wow. Just wow.
And like I've said this before about Arcadia, like I remember when they did the black and white panels, when they did
Yes.
the
Oh,
Braille show,
stunning.
they find every possible way to use their props. So inventive with them. And like, you know what? Okay, we're going to use it like a slide. We're going to use it like a bridge. We're going to use it like a seesaw. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Same with this. I mean, they found every possible way to use these pulleys and ropes and like the quad quote unquote that they threw when they were when the gun was just taken, they just spun it.
Hmm.
Like just so clever. I was so happy this won, and
Yeah.
so happy this is our first gold medal.
Yeah, I was looking back earlier to see, I was trying to figure out what was the timing of things in the past. And they got a bronze medal in Scholastic Open in 2000. So they've been in Scholastic World ever since. So 2001 they made finals in Scholastic World
That was when they got up to world. Wow.
and they've been in there for 25 years. And they've gotten medals before in
Yeah,
this class, but never the gold. And
never the gold.
yeah, it's absolutely just so incredible and exciting. And I think easily well deserved. I mean, this was hands down the gold medal. I mean, there was no,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's funny is the top 8 guards have all won gold in this class at some point. I was just scrolling back looking through the outline.
Really?
Yep. Arcadia, Flanagan, Avon, Woodlands, Tarpon Springs, Center Grove, Carmel, Miamisburg.
Wow. That is incredible. Huh. Wow. Absolutely spectacular.
All 8 of them have won Scholastic World at some point. Some of them multiple times.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
And
That's
then
amazing.
poor Center Grove. Late 90s where they were always second, always second. Bishop Carney finally Bishop Carney finally called it, and then James Logan was like, "Oh hey."
Girl, hey. Oh gosh.
Oh, well, that's going to be a wrap on Scholastic World. Amazing year. Congratulations to our
Absolutely
winner,
spectacular.
Arcadia.
Yes. Ugh.
We have one more to go, and then we can put this season to bed.
Woo.
Keep an eye out for the Independent World one. We're going to record that in a couple days. We are recording on Friday night. So tomorrow is Percussion World Finals. A little sidebar. I want to tell you real quick while we took a very quick break. A I lost the post, but a high school from Kentucky won gold medal in a percussion class.
Yes.
It
The
was
Warren East from
what?
Bowling Green won, yeah, the concert Scholastic A.
Yep.
Yes, that's awesome. I saw they were in first coming out of prelims, but that's spectacular.
So they did win.
They have a great fall program, and they're always doing wonderful things over there. So that's awesome for them. Congrats.
And I think in Scholastic World Percussion, 8
Mm.
of the finalists are from California.
I was gonna mention that. Yes, that you didn't. Yep, and yeah, phenomenal. And I think the top four right now are all California groups.
Yeah, and they're all popping huge numbers. Vista
Yeah.
Marietta got a 99.2 in percussion and concert world.
Jeez Louise.
90, and last year was it Ayala got a 99.5?
Oh, I don't remember. I
It
don't
was
remember.
whoever won Scholastic World, they got a 99.5.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Don't sleep on percussion, guys. It's really cool. Like, I know it's noisy, but
You can turn the volume down and still get all of the effects.
but it is really amazing. I'll never forget watching it was Woodbridge Concert World. They won, I forget what year it was, but they did Carmen.
It
And
was, I'm going to tell you because you know what? Somebody just asked about that because I think is that that's the record score.
I think it's the rise. It was like basically listening to a full-blown professional symphony orchestra. It was phenomenal. 2012?
Yes, it was 2012
Hey,
and they got a 99.6.
it was unreal.
It's a record WGI score in any class or division. It's the highest score.
Wow. But I will say, Scholastic and Independent World marching percussion, it is a blast to watch. I mean, the ingenuity, creativity, I'm gonna say is bar none. I mean, they are doing some incredible stuff.
Agreed. I
It,
watched it for the first time last
it,
year and I was just like, this is really cool. They're doing some really cool things.
yeah. And yeah, so if nothing else, you can mute your TV and just watch the watch the visual displays, but it's really incredible stuff. So definitely give it a shot and support that side of the activity if you
And you
don't.
might pick up some cool tricks because those world groups very GE heavy, lots of cool things with the props and the
So many
staging.
great uses of color, and yeah, the props and the staging and the performance. I mean, they are some stellar performers. So, yep.
So, all righty.
All right.
Well, you enjoy World Finals tomorrow.
Thanks.
I'll probably be watching too. So,
Yeah. Yay.
bye.
Bye.
And that's going to do it. There's just one episode left in our recap series, and then we can take a nice long break and put this season to bed. Independent World should be out in just a couple days. I'm going to get that out as quick as I can. So until then, stay safe, stay fabulous, and remember at the end of the day, It's just flags in a gym.